Hi, I'd like to talk to you about a digital community that's actually a subset of a geographical community. The geographical community is Raymore, Missouri, my hometown. And the digital community that was born out of this was a closed Facebook group called You Matter RAPAC. And this group was formed due to some unfortunate events. The tragic death of a student in one of the schools. They chose to take their own life, and a lot of the parents of the children in this school really banded together and wanted to do something to give back to the kids and help encourage and uplift the children. And so out of that was born this closed Facebook group. But what happened after the Facebook group, the group was formed, was that a lot of parents joined in, and just kind of snowballed. And within a week, it had gained, I believe it was it's like almost 3,000 members in just a week. And it was an astounding amount of growth, and there were tons of activities and ideas thrown out in just a short, brief period of time. And so I wanted to kind of go over some of the factors that have unified the members of this little digital community, and then also go over some of the factors that have presented themselves as challenges to this community. So, unifying factors, obviously, first and foremost, were geography. We're all from the Raymore community. The Facebook group was closed to residents only. They had to asked to be added or added by someone within the group, and so it was very much contained to just our community. And then the second unifying factor was that most all of us have children in the school district. So we're talking about parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, all just family members of or older siblings, and in some instances alumni children who have recently, or kids who have recently graduated from the school district, all a part of this community. And then the third unifying factor for this community really was, and mostly was, the concern for others, the concern for those who are affected by depression, those who are affected by suicidal thoughts, and just those hurting and in need. And so this group kind of came together to try and put into place resources and opportunities for people to reach out and help those in need. Now, with all great things come challenges, and this group has seen its fair share of challenges. One of the, I would say, the first and foremost challenges that the group faced was just the difficulty to interpret language and context in a online digital post and texting format. Some of what I considered to be an innocent post would create frustration or offend someone, and very quickly the comments underneath that post turned very negative, and the admin for the group often has to step in and turn off comments. And it's strictly because there's such heated debate over, what needs to be done, what's the core of the problem for these children, or for the school district, or for parents of children who are hurting. And oftentimes we'll see, like I said, posts that you may think are innocent, and it just creates a firestorm. And so it really is just that interpretation of meaning. It's very hard to convey empathy and concern and consideration in a black and white post. So that's probably been one of the biggest challenges, and I think we've been working through that. Another one of those challenges, and it kind of goes along with the previous challenges, that pride and ego. We all are subject to pride, and somebody who put together this fantastic event, posting you know, encouraging messages on the locker of every single student, and it was a huge undertaking. It was a lot of time, money, and effort, and of course that person is protective over the outcome and the image of that activity. And within that, not everyone received it with the highest of praise, and so it sparked some frustration, and I could understand both sides, but that pride, that ego of saying, well, I put this together, and so no one should say anything negative about it, it just causes tension. And a lot of times it's setting aside the ego to say, maybe I need to step back and take a look at this from an outsider's perspective. Set my ego down and say, okay, I'm willing to listen to constructive criticism. And then the third challenge, and again it kind of goes along the same lines, is power struggles of who's in charge, who needs to be the one taking the reins and making the decisions and putting forth procedures and policies. And because it's all brand new, and it's kind of like a town hall where everybody has wants the same thing, we're after the same goal, but everybody has different ideas for how to reach that end goal. And so there's a lot of people who feel like maybe they're better suited or better equipped to take charge and tell people the best way to help out or to step in and really make a difference. And not everybody agrees. And so you see this kind of juxtaposition of people who love and care so deeply about the students, about the people in our community, and then the people on the opposite side, those same people who may be treating each other in ways that we're ultimately trying to encourage our children to not do in school. And so it's very much this a microcosm of the issue that we're actually trying to face in the community. And so it's this little digital community. In conclusion, it's been a very interesting experiment to watch, because it has been strongly unifying, and a lot of support, and a lot of love, and a lot of hope. And at the same time, you have these tensions that pull and nag at it, and the frustration people have with the tensions that come up, and how do we deal with these, and how do we settle them? And really, it all boils down to, we're all a part of Raymore, Missouri, which is a very tight-knit community. We are very involved. My husband and I have lived here for 10 years, and we love this community. There's farmers markets and festivals, and it's just a great suburb. But ultimately, we're very diverse. We come from varying backgrounds and varying religious beliefs and differing opinions. And so it's difficult to find consensus, but I would say that ultimately we do have a lot of respect for one another, because through it all, there has still been no wavering off of the ultimate goal and purpose of what we were set out to do, and that was to help children. And they're still focused on that. They're still putting together programs. They've forged through any tensions. And so I think ultimately it's growing, it's flourishing, and I'm just really proud to be a part of this little digital community inside of a big community.